Now let me ask every taxpayer in Baldwin County something. If you were a local contractor, could you walk into the Baldwin County Government Center, tell them you've got a 3 to 5 year project, tell them you don't have a contract, and then ask them to process more than $2 million in change orders? Do you think they would cut you a check? A few months ago, Baldwin County made headlines. There was a forensic audit. People were outraged. Commission meetings were packed. Questions were everywhere. Then it all got quiet. The county borrowed $5 million. A new intern county manager was hired. And somehow, we're supposed to believe the problems are behind us. Well, new media didn't forget, because government doesn't spend money, people do. Let's get into it. Over the next several episodes, we're going to walk through this forensic audit one document at a time. Not opinions, not rumors, the actual documents, page by page. And today, we're starting with one project, one vendor, one question: Roberts Land Management. Before the forensic investigators ever reached their conclusion, they interviewed former Assistant County Manager and Finance Director, Dawn Hudson. And look what she tells them. She says her concerns wasn't how much SPLOS and T-SPLOS money was coming into Baldwin County. Her concern was how much money was being spent. She tells investigators T-SPLOS expenditures exceeded revenues by approximately $1 million, largely because road department projects, right? Then she points investigators to one specific project: Roberts Land Management. According to the report, she says a general service contract was used to rebuild a county road instead of putting the work out for competitive bids. Then she says something else. She says the project was expected to last between 3 and 5 years. 3 to 5 years. Now think about that. This wasn't somebody fixing a pothole. This wasn't a one-day project. According to the report, this was expected to be a major roads department project lasting 3 to 5 years. Now let's read that last sentence again, right? The investigators write they were unable to locate a contract with Roberts Land Management. Now let's move beyond the interview, right? These are the investigators' findings. The report states there was no contract for this project. It also states this project incurred $2,031,998.32 in expenses. Then it says there was no detailed project budget prepared or available. Now let's slow this down for a minute. No contract, no detailed budget, and over $2 million in expenses. Those aren't my words. Those are the findings in the Baldwin County's own forensic investigation. But look at this table. Vendor, Robert Land Management. Original contract, none. Change orders, $2,031,998.32. Let's read it again. Original contract, none. Change orders, $2,031,998.32. Now, this is where I need everybody to sit up in their chair, because this is a question I just can't get past. A change order does not create a project. A change order changes a product. It changes an existing contract. It changing an existing scope of work. It changing an existing price. It changes an existing timeline. That's literally why it's called a change order. So if a forensic investigator says there was no contract and the project summary lists the original contract as none, then what exactly is being changed? Changed from what? What was the original contract amount? What was the original scope of work? What agreement were there changes orders attached to? Because if you have more than $2 million in change orders, common sense tells you there had to be something those change orders What's changing? So where is it? Where is the original contract? Where is the original agreement? Where is the original scope of work? Where is the original price? Where is the document that those change orders were modified? And if the project was expected to last at 3 to 5 years, as the report says, what governed that project during those 3 to 5 years? Who established the price? Who established the scope of work? Who established the responsibilities? Who protected the taxpayers? Then the report says investigators identified multiple capital projects with significant change orders, and in some instances, change orders without dollar amounts or authorizations of the Board of Commissions. Again, I'm not answering these questions. I'm asking these questions the report naturally raises. Now, let me ask every taxpayer in Baldwin County something. If you were a local contractor, could you walk into the Baldwin County Government Center, tell them you've got a 3 to 5 year project, tell them you don't have a contract, and then ask them to process more than $2 million in change orders? Do you think they would cut you a check? Do you think they would send you an ACH payment to your bank account? Or do you think the first thing they would ask you, where's the contract? If that's the question they'd ask you, why shouldn't taxpayer ask that very same question? Because government doesn't spend money, people do. Every payment has a signature, every approval has a name, every dollar that leaves the government account is authorized by somebody. So who authorized this project? Who approved the expenses? Who approved the change orders? Who reviewed the documentation? Who signed off on the payments? Who verified the work? Those are not accusations. Those are accountability questions raised by Baldwin County's own forensic investigation. This is not about attacking a contractor. This is not about convicting anybody in the court of public opinion. It's about understanding how more than $2 million in taxpayers' expenses become associated with change orders on a project where the forensic investigation says there was no contract. Because documentation isn't just paperwork, documentation is accountability. And when you're spending taxpayer money, accountability matters. And if Baldwin County has the documentation that answers these questions, then the easiest way to put this issue to rest is to produce it. If there's an explanation consistent with the audit findings, the public deserves to hear it. This is Lamar King Sr., investigative analyst, new media, where the truth will never be silenced. Be great today. Peace.